The cold wind moved across the white Arctic land like an invisible wave, but the snow fox stood still, almost like a part of the snow itself. Its thick white fur didn't just keep it warm, it made it nearly impossible to spot. In this frozen world where temperatures can drop far below zero, only the strongest and smartest animals survive. And the snow fox, also known as the Arctic fox, is one of nature's best survivors. But what makes it so perfectly suited for this icy home? The answer is hidden deep in its genes. A snow fox is born into the cold. Even as a baby, its body is ready for freezing temperatures. Unlike other foxes, it has a rounder body and shorter legs and ears. This body shape helps it keep its heat. It loses less warmth through its body parts because everything is close and tight. Scientists call this a cold climate body design, and it's built right into the snow fox's DNA. When compared to the red fox, which lives in warmer areas, the snow fox clearly shows its special cold survival genes. One of the most powerful weapons the snow fox has is its fur. It is one of the warmest furs in the animal world. Even polar bears and wolves don't have fur as dense and thick as the snow fox. The fur is so good at trapping heat that the snow fox doesn't start to shiver until the temperature drops to around -70 degrees Celsius. This amazing fur coat is a result of genetic instructions that tell the fox's body to grow 2 layers of hair, one soft and fluffy underneath, and one longer and waterproof on the outside. These layers work together to keep out wind and snow, like a natural winter coat built right into the skin. But there's more. The snow fox's paws are also covered in fur. This is unusual because most animals have bare paws or pads, but not the snow fox. Its fur-covered feet help it walk easily over ice and snow, and they don't freeze in the cold. The genes that control paw growth and hair production are slightly different in the snow fox compared to other animals. These tiny genetic changes make a big difference in a place where the ground is always frozen. Another clever feature is how the snow fox stores fat. During the warmer months, it eats as much as it can, and its body stores that fat for later. But instead of storing it only in one place, the fat spreads throughout the body evenly. This fat acts like insulation, keeping the fox warm during long winters when food is hard to find. The way this fat is stored and burned for energy is also controlled by special genes. These genes are tuned for survival, making sure the fox doesn't burn too much energy too fast. Even the snow fox's blood plays a role in cold survival. Its blood vessels are designed to keep warm blood closer to its core and to cool the parts that are exposed, like the paws and nose, without letting them freeze. This is called countercurrent heat exchange, and it's something that not all animals have. The blueprint for this system lies within the snow fox's genetic code. It's not just smart, it's built to survive. Every part of the snow fox, from its ears to its tail, is a product of careful evolution. These changes didn't happen overnight. They took thousands of years. Over time, the snow fox's body changed little by little, and those changes were passed on through its genes. The foxes that were better at keeping warm lived longer and had more babies, and the babies inherited those strong, cold-surviving genes. This process, called natural selection, shaped the snow fox into what it is today, a true master of the Arctic. As the snow blows across the frozen land, the snow fox curls its tail around its body like a warm scarf. The tail, long and fluffy, helps hold in heat, and it also helps the fox balance when it runs across the snow. It's not just for show. Its design is no accident. Inside the fox's genes are codes that tell the body to grow this exact type of tail, perfectly shaped for both warmth and speed. What seems like simple beauty from the outside is actually a complex story, written in DNA. The snow fox isn't just cute or clever, it is one of the most genetically unique animals in the world. Its body is a result of survival, adaptation, and nature's brilliant design. And this is just the beginning of the story. The snow fox has even more secrets hidden in its gene secrets that help it change color, survive without food, and outsmart the harsh Arctic world as winter slowly fades and the Arctic sun begins to shine a little longer. Something magical happens to the snow fox. Its thick white coat, once perfect for blending into the snowy world, begins to change. The white fur starts to fall out, and in its place grows a new coat, this time in shades of brown, grey, or sometimes even blue-grey. This change doesn't happen by choice. It happens because of the snow fox's amazing DNA. While most animals keep the same fur or feather color year-round, the snow fox is one of the few creatures whose fur changes with the seasons. This isn't a simple trick. It's a complex process controlled by genes that respond to changes in daylight and temperature. When the days start getting longer in spring, special cells in the fox's brain notice the difference. These cells send signals through the body, waking up certain genes that control fur color and growth. These special genes turn off the ones that grow white fur and turn on the ones that grow colored fur. The new coat that grows in helps the snow fox stay hidden against the rocks, dirt, and summer plants that appear after the snow melts. This color-changing ability is called seasonal camouflage, and it's a life-saving trick. In summer, being white would make the fox stand out to predators and prey, but thanks to its genes, the snow fox can disappear into the land just as easily as it did into the snow. This ability is so well developed that even scientists are amazed. The cells responsible for making the new coat are called melanocytes. These tiny cells produce pigments' natural colors that give fur its shade. In the snow fox, these cells are turned on or off depending on the season. If they stay off, the fur is white. When they turn on, the fur becomes darker. All of this is controlled by the fox's genes, which act like little switches flipping back and forth as the environment changes. But not every snow fox changes color in the same way. Some foxes stay white even in summer. These are known as white morphs. Others turn dark gray or even a bluish color. These are called blue morphs. The reason for this difference: it's all in the DNA. A small genetic difference decides whether a fox will be a white or blue morph. This variation doesn't hurt the fox. In fact, in some areas, being darker in summer might help a fox hide better, depending on the land around it. What's truly fascinating is how this change isn't just about looks. The new coat that grows in summer is also thinner and lighter, helping the fox stay cool when the sun shines more. Just as the winter coat traps heat, the summer coat allows heat to escape. The snow fox's body knows exactly what kind of fur it needs and when. This is not magic, it's a carefully written instruction manual inside the fox's genes. These changing coats are more than a survival tool. They are a sign of the snow fox's deep connection with the Arctic itself. As the land changes, the fox changes with it. It's like the animal and the land are speaking the same language. But even more, it shows how powerful genes can be. A tiny change inside a cell can lead to a full transformation on the outside. This color-changing power also helps scientists understand more about how genes work in other animals, even humans. Studying the snow fox's DNA gives researchers clues about how cells know what to do and when. It shows that genes are not just about looks, they are about timing, survival, and balance with nature. Even when the snow fox is hunting or running across open land, it always seems to blend in perfectly. This is not luck, it's the result of thousands of years of evolution. The foxes that could hide better lived longer and had more babies. Over time, the genes for seasonal camouflage became more common. Now, almost every snow fox has this incredible ability, passed down from generation to generation. As summer ends and winter begins to return, the snow fox's body prepares again. The colored fur falls away, and the white coat begins to grow. Back once more, the fox becomes a part of the snow-covered land. The cycle continues, year after year, all because of a set of unique genes that no other animal has in quite the same way. In a world where every step can mean life or death, the snow fox's changing fur is one of its best tools. It hides the fox from hungry predators like polar bears and wolves. It also helps the fox sneak up on prey like lemmings and birds. Every strand of fur tells a story written in the language of genetics, where survival means staying hidden, smart, and one step ahead of the Arctic's challenges. In the heart of winter, when snow covers everything and the wind never stops blowing, most animals either hide away or migrate to warmer places. But the snow fox stays. It walks across the frozen land with quiet steps, always alert, always searching. Food is hard to find, temperatures are deadly, yet somehow the snow fox keeps going. The secret to its survival is not just in its fur or color, it's also in its powerful, hard-working body. Deep inside, its genes have given it everything it needs to survive even when nature is at its worst. The Arctic is not kind. Sometimes there is no food for days, even weeks. The snow fox has learned how to keep its body alive during these hard times. It doesn't panic, and it doesn't starve right away. Instead, its body slows down in a smart and controlled way. This is called metabolic adaptation, and it is one of the snow fox's greatest tools. Its genes tell the body how to use every bit of energy wisely. When food is low, the body burns fat slowly, keeping the brain and heart strong without using too much fuel. This slow-burning energy system is not something all animals have. In fact, many would die quickly without food in such freezing weather. But the snow fox's DNA has evolved over thousands of years to handle this challenge. The genes that control hunger, fat storage, and energy burning work in perfect balance. They act like little managers inside the body, deciding how much energy should be used, and how much should be saved for later. Even more surprising is how the snow fox can lower its body temperature just a little bit during extreme cold to save energy. It doesn't go into full hibernation, but it uses a method similar to it, called torpor. This small drop in body temperature helps it survive long nights and snowstorms. The genes that allow this are rare, even among Arctic animals. Only those that have spent generations in cold places have developed such smart ways to survive. When food does become available, like a bird, a fish, or a small rodent, the snow fox doesn't waste time. It has strong teeth and jaws made for cutting through frozen meat. Its digestive system is fast and powerful, built to get the most energy out of every meal. The enzymes in its stomach, which help break down food, are specially made to work quickly. In cold conditions, these enzymes are controlled by genetic instructions that are different from those found in animals from warmer climates. What's even more amazing is how the snow fox doesn't just rely on fresh food. It has a habit of storing food when there's plenty, hiding it in small snow holes or under rocks. Scientists call this behavior catching, and it's another survival trick written into the snow fox's DNA. The fox remembers where it put its food, sometimes days or weeks later, even when snow has covered everything. This memory skill is guided by brain genes that help with long-term memory and spatial awareness. The snow fox's nose also plays a big part in its survival. It can smell prey under thick snow, even when it's buried over a meter deep. This sense of smell is linked to special genes that build extra scent receptors in the nose. These tiny sensors pick up even the smallest smell of a mouse or bird. Once it hears or smells the prey, the fox jumps high into the air and dives nose first into the snow. This hunting move is so perfect that it almost always lands right on target. It looks like magic, but it's actually a mix of strong senses, smart brain, and powerful genetics working together. Even during times when food is completely gone, the snow fox doesn't give up. Its body is so well trained by its DNA that it can go without eating for a long time without getting sick. It uses its fat slowly, keeps its heart rate low, and stays hidden to avoid danger. All of these steps are not choices, it's the body following instructions passed down from parents and grandparents, each one shaped by years of surviving the cold. But not every snow fox is born with perfect genes. Some are weaker, and they don't survive as long. Nature is always testing, always watching. The strongest foxes with the best survival genes are the ones that live long enough to have babies. And when they do, they pass on those powerful genes, making the next generation even stronger. This is natural selection in action. It's how the snow fox became one of the toughest animals in the coldest place on Earth. In the long Arctic night, with no sun for days or weeks, the snow fox doesn't just survive, it thrives. It has turned its DNA into a powerful survival plan. Every heartbeat, every step, every smart decision it makes is written into its genetic code. When we see a snow fox trotting across the frozen land, we're looking at an animal that has learned, through its genes, how to live in a world most creatures would not survive even for a day, as the snow fox moves silently across the icy land. It's not just its body that helps, it survives also its brain. While most people focus on the fox's fur or nose, there's something equally powerful hiding inside its head: intelligence. The snow fox is not only strong and tough, but also clever. It makes smart choices, remembers where it hid its food, and can even plan ahead. All of this mental strength comes from something that can't be seen: the special way its brain works. Shaped by its unique genetics, from the moment a snow fox is born, its brain begins to learn. It watches its mother closely, learning how to hunt, how to hide, and how to stay safe. But even before learning from others, the fox already knows certain things. It is born with instincts, natural behaviors that are written into its DNA. These instincts are passed down from parents to babies, generation after generation. The fox doesn't need to be taught how to jump into the snow or how to curl into a ball to stay warm. It just knows. That knowledge is inside its genes. Scientists have found that the snow fox's brain is especially good at memory and navigation. It can remember where it stored food across large areas, even after snow has covered everything. This kind of memory is known as spatial memory. The part of the brain that controls this called the hippocampus, is slightly larger and more active in snow foxes than in many other animals. Their genes help build a brain that's not just good at learning, but also good at solving problems. This smart brain helps the snow fox hunt in very clever ways. If the prey is hiding, the fox doesn't waste energy. It listens carefully, watches, and then waits for the perfect moment. Sometimes, if the wind is blowing too hard, it changes its hunting direction so its scent won't be carried to the prey. Other times, it follows polar bears or other hunters, waiting to steal leftovers. These are not random moves. They are smart survival decisions made quickly, and they show how the snow fox uses both instinct and brain power to stay alive. Snow foxes also have a special way of communicating. They make different sounds to warn others or call to their mates. They use their tails, ears, and even eyes to share messages. This kind of communication is also tied to their genetics. Their DNA helps shape how their brains process emotions and sounds, allowing them to understand each other better. In a place like the Arctic, where being alone can be dangerous, the ability to communicate can save lives. One of the most amazing things about snow fox intelligence is their ability to adapt. If one hunting method doesn't work, they try another. If a usual path becomes dangerous, they find a new one. They remember which areas are safe and which are full of enemies. This flexibility is a sign of strong brain function, and scientists believe it comes from a mix of experience and genetic brain wiring that has evolved over thousands of years. But intelligence in snow foxes isn't just also about parenting. When a mother fox has babies, called kits, she uses every bit of her brain to keep them safe. She hides them in dens under the snow, feeds them, teaches them, and protects them from predators. Her strong bond with her babies and her careful care are partly guided by genetic behavior. These parenting instincts are built into her DNA, ensuring the young foxes have the best chance to survive. Some studies show that snow foxes even have personalities. Some are bolder and explore more, while others are shy and careful. These personality differences can also be linked to small changes in genes. Just like people, each snow fox is a little different, not just in how it looks, but in how it thinks and acts. This variety is important because it helps the species survive in a world that is always changing. As the world warms and the Arctic ice melts more each year, the snow fox faces new problems. But thanks to its sharp mind and flexible nature, it has been able to adjust. In some areas, snow foxes are moving to higher ground or hunting new animals. Their ability to learn and adapt gives them an edge. And behind that ability is a powerful brain, shaped by generations of evolution and written in a language only DNA can speak. So, when you see a snow fox running across the snowy hills, remember, it's not just its white fur or silent steps that make it special. It's the way its body and brain work together like a perfect machine. Everything it does, from hunting to hiding to raising young, is guided by a mix of knowledge, instinct, and smart decisions. Thanks to its unique genetic code, the snow fox is more than a creature of beauty. It is a true Arctic genius, a master of survival shaped by time, nature, and the silent strength of its DNA. That is what makes the snow fox one of the most genetically unique animals on Earth.